All right, I'm talking to the great Dave Rasmussen, otherwise known as Razzie. I know the guy looks very young, but he's actually an old guy. And quick story, Raz and I worked together, I don't know, was it like 6-7 years, I think, in a former business. He was one of my mentors. I found this through a friend, showed me this really incredible product. I fell in love with it pretty quickly. I jumped on a plane, came out to see you in Phoenix, spent 3 or 4 days. I brought 2 guys with me, and we hit it off immediately. You showed me strategies on how you earned 7 figures. You were a big earner in that company. You spent 11 years there. I know, I don't know, but, you made many millions. You were one of the top guys in that company. I know you personally started off with 4 reps, and over the course of your career, you turned it into 67,000 reps. Now, the purpose of this video that I'm shooting with you is I have hundreds of friends, associates on Facebook that have all dabbled in the industry. I've been in the industry, full disclosure, since I'm 21 years old. I was introduced to network marketing at a young age, and I've done it my whole life. The key with me is I've avoided most of them. I got pitched 40, 50 times a year. It seemed like, that's maybe a little exaggerating, but no question, 400 or 500 times over the course of 30 years. Hey, Bob, got to do this, got to do that. And, I've tried a lot of products. I've even put my foot in to a couple of different companies. But I was always careful about going all in on stuff where a lot of my friends were going all in, because I kind of looked and said, I don't know, man, it just doesn't seem right. And then a year or 2 later, realizing I did the right thing. So, of course, as we all have, made a lot of mistakes. But I think my biggest attribute is I avoided lots of mistakes by not getting involved in the wrong opportunity, which brings me to you, because you had a bad taste in your mouth from our last venture. Obviously, things did not go well. The company got jammed up and actually went out of business for a short period of time. So your high 6-figure income was gone overnight. 11 years of work, and it was gone. So you had a miserable taste in your mouth for the industry. So you're like, I'm never doing this again. You do a flooring company. You and I still stayed friends on Facebook. So I hit you up November of 2019 because I see this amazing product, best product I've ever seen. I fly out. I do the same thing, by the way. I fly out instead of Phoenix, it's Utah. I meet the founder. I meet the top dogs like you. And I fall in love with this company. So you're one of the first guys I reach out to. And you impolitely blew me off. You didn't even respond. But I didn't take it personal. It happens. I'm used to rejection. About, 6-7 months later, I think it was July, right in the middle of the pandemic. We kind of have the same philosophy, beliefs. Let's just put it that way. So we were chatting through Facebook about those things, and then I brought up. I said, "Hey, can you do me a favor and take a look at that presentation that I sent you 7 months ago?" And you say, "Yeah, no, I'll look at it." But you said, "Listen, I'm not building nothing. I got a nice business going. I own my own company. I don't want no part of network marketing." And I said, "Listen, no problem. I get it, but do me a favor, watch the presentation I put together and let me know what you think." And you say, I will, I watch it. And you didn't watch it. You didn't. You said you did, but you didn't. But whatever. Did I get offended? No, I didn't. So about, 6-7 months later, Bobby D, little drip, drip, drip. I hit you again. In fact, I hit you up about a financial matter. It wasn't even about this because I basically had given up. Raz, he doesn't want to do it anymore. And listen, by the way, we're having some fun, but I understand that. I understand the PTSD from a network marketing. Network marketing is hard, especially when it ends, when it's not your fault. When you know, I get it. So I hit you up for a financial matter, and then you tell me, hey, bro, listen, I admire your tenacity, but right now I'm dealing with some issues. I just got out of lung surgery. You tell me that you believe your blood pressure meds gave you lung cancer. And you also say, I'm on a mission to tell the world about medications and alternatives. Now I'm like, this? Right? I'm like, blood pressure meds. I have the product that 90% of the time people are able to wean off their meds. And this guy has been taking meds for 13 years and he got lung cancer for it. So now I'm like, now I go Jersey on you. Right? I'm like, listen to me. I don't give up what you say. You're getting on the phone and I'm putting you on the phone with the founder of this company. And then you were like, you were in the surrender mode. You said, absolutely, but I can't talk right now. I just got to search. Can you give me a couple of weeks so I can? I'm like, I'll give you a couple of weeks. And I counted those days, and 2 weeks to the boom. I hit you up. I said, hey, you ready for this phone call? And you were there. You said, okay. So what I want to do while people are watching this, there's thousands of you out there, guys that have had. Now, I'm not saying thousands of guys that had the level of success that you've had, because there's not. Let's be frank. You're that 0.1%er that makes the millions in the industry. Most people do not. But my point is, there's thousands of you that have got in the industry and maybe had some success or was excited about it, and then they go away and they refuse that I will never do it again. So I want you to speak to those people. How in the world does a guy like you, dead against getting back in this industry, how do you not only get back in the industry, but frankly, you already hit 3 ranks in the company in your first 2 months. You're already one of the top recruiters, the top go-getters in the company. So you not only get back in the game, but you're like full throttle, even more enthused, more energetic, and more optimistic than you were in the company that you spent 11 years with and made many millions. So tell everybody how a guy like you comes out of retirement.
Well, it's pretty easy. When you have a product that works and, gets the results that I got, it didn't take me long for my wheels, to start spinning. And first thing I did was I wanted to talk with somebody. I wanted to talk to somebody, and you were putting me on the phone with the founder of the company. So, I needed to talk to somebody. Usually I fly to the home office of the company because, I've been involved in companies before that somebody was running it out of their house, or somebody, I didn't do my due diligence and somebody was running it out of 2 suites in a strip mall and they were farming everything out. So normally I like to do my due diligence, but couldn't really, because of my situation with my lung. I couldn't really get on a plane or travel. So I just kind of had to take, Bob's word for it, and spoke to the founder and did my research as far as, the videos on the company and the videos on the home office. And how did I get out of retirement after swearing this industry off for the rest of my life, never do it again? The product was a big, huge part. And then, I found out that the company started over in Japan, and it started overseas, and they've been doing for 22 years, mainly because people are a little bit more open to holistic medicine overseas versus here, where they just want to take a pill and, bing, bang, boom, go to the pharmacy, go to the drive-through, grab their pill, throw it down their throat, and they put their Band-Aid on their ailment. When I found out there's about 1,000 team members earning a check in the United States and Canada, it got my wheels turning even faster. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, buddy.
Yeah. So you put these things together. You factor in the process of this product not being well known in North America, because startups, a lot of my folks on my page love startups. They love, oh, this is brand new. Talk about why startups are really a shot in the dark.
Well, I mean, typically the way a startup happens is you get some distributor who has a lot of success in the industry, and they decide, you know what, not only do I want to be the master distributor, but I want to own the company. I want to make all the money. I want to own the company. So don't really have any business experience, don't really have their MBA. They're good at being a distributor, but let me tell you, it's apples and oranges being a distributor and being a business owner that's got some business training. And so what happens is they'll usually start a frenzy. They'll call some distributors and they'll start a little fire, and they'll get some people excited, and they'll put a company into pre-launch. And in pre-launch, what you do is you work the bugs out, you get your product. Typically in this industry, what happens is somebody decides to start a company, then they put a comp plan together, and then they go out and they look for products to plug into the compensation plan. And so, which to me is kind of backwards, and you're just asking for trouble. If you build your company around a product, that's a different story. And those seem to be the ones that become successful and make it out of pre-launch and end up going. And mainly it's your credibility, folks. Your credibility's on the line. After doing 2 or 3 of them myself, your database, starts to thin out as far as who you can talk to, because, you talk to a person about one deal and they join, and then it crashes. Then you talk to them about another one, convince them that this one's the one, and then it crashes. And pretty soon you're like the boy that cried wolf. I've got 5 criteria that I follow, and company track record is the first one on the list. You got to have a good company with a good track record. And, then you got to have good products that are unique. You got to have a good compensation plan that is fair and equitable, and it pays you up front while your back end residual builds. You got to have a good team. You got to have good leadership. You got to have a good system, a good support system. And when you combine all those things together, and then last but not least, timing, your product has to be falling in line with the trends. As long as you have a product that's falling in line and that people are interested in and that people will use, or you have something that's unique or something that gets results, you put all those things together and you've got a real opportunity. It's just going to increase your odds when you have all those things in place before you start.
So true. Good points. Now, what I like to, when I speak to these gentlemen or gals, I like to point out the residual income factor and why residual income is not always residual income, because it's based on how good your product is. Let's face it. If your product's not being repurchased, you don't have residual income. Pro-arginine has a 51.3%, somewhere along those lines. They did a 3-year study on it. 51.3 customer retention rate. The industry average is around 8%. So that guy or gal who's working that other company, if their product is in the industry average, they have a customer retention rate of 8.8%. Pro-arginine is 6 times higher. So why would you want to, if you're going to go dig a hole in your backyard, you want to use a shovel or you want to go get a backhoe, right? If I have to go take a drive an hour away, do I want to pull out maps and directions, or do I want to plug it into the GPS? So the residual income factor is based solely on how good your product is and how well it is retained. Yes or no?
No, those are great points. And I mean, that was one of the contributing, points that Dan Higginson made to me. And I even went as far as saying, shut up, you're lying. Because, it's just unheard of to have a retention rate that high. But after using the product and after, my family, my mother, my sister, a lot of my good friends are using the product. And I got to tell you, there's a group of us here, that I'm associated with. You're going to have to pry this stuff out of our cold, dead hands because of the results we've had with it. So it's telling.
And that's what they told me in Utah. They said, go back. Don't believe us. They said, pretend that everything we told you about the product is fake. Pretend all the science, all the books you read, pretend the Nobel Prize didn't happen. To pretend it all. Go back, get 10, 15 people taking the product, and you will see. And I did that, and I know you did that, because within the first month, you put together a Synergy Experience team page, and you've got your customers. I mean, it's almost daily. You have a new customer almost every day thanking you, showing pictures of their pressure. I mean, look at the market that by the way, Synergy has 21 products. I didn't even delve into the skincare line, but Dan Higginson tells me that women in Europe are making a living from home just selling the skincare product. But so we're not even talking about that. Pro-arginine alone. Think of that market. What is it? A third of America has high blood pressure? And so we're talking, 100 million people? How many add on with diabetes? Now, people say to me, who's pro-arginine for? So I say, well, do you have blood? You have blood? Because it adds oxygen to your blood. Could you use more oxygen in your blood? Then, yeah, pro-arginine's for you. Now, again, the market. You could be a sick dude with high blood pressure, diabetes. You're going to want to throw pro-arginine into your mix as a safety valve type thing, right? You're a high-end athlete. You want better blood flow? I would say that's a good thing. You're competing, better blood flow. So the market is every human being that exists. Pro-arginine is literally for everyone. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what shape you're in. The product is for everyone. And Dave, it's tested 262 times before it's mailed out to the customer. Who does that?
Apparently Synergy does.
I mean, it's bizarre. And then you throw in the fact, now you have this great product manufactured in a pristine facility, NSF certified, GMP certified. How about TGA certified? People don't understand that. TGA is an Australian designation, very strict guidelines to sell in Australia. Well, this company has an outlet there, so their facility has to be certified for Australia. So you throw all that in. You got the retention factor. You don't have to worry about startups. By the way, I think the number is 1 in 300 startups make it past year 3. Imagine if that was a college that you were sending your kid to. You got a 1 in 300% chance of graduating. I mean, I would say that you're going to look somewhere else, but yet people jump in. Well, why not jump into this with this product untapped in the United States? Thank God it's untapped. I mean, it's not going to be for long with what you're doing. But yeah. And then you throw in, how about you add this? Mega Match. You shake your head and say, wait a minute, what? When he explains Mega Match, you say, nah, that's got to be a mistake. Like, it's got to be a catch. What's the catch? Because Mega Match is a 100% cycle bonus or basic commission match on the rep that you enroll. Not 50%, not 60, 100%. So if you end up getting this in the hands of a true go-getter, and that guy goes out, and let's say that guy makes 50, 60 grand a year in basic commissions, you match it 100%. And that's unlimited. You can find 10 of those dudes and match his income 100%. You and I worked in the last business together. It was 10% match on your first tier, 10% on your second for 20%.
Right.
And this nut Higginson is giving out 100. And by the way, that 100 has been in play for 22 years with the company. So it's not like, hey, let's test this out. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work,
Right.
22 years. Have you ever seen anything like that in your experience?
No, I've never seen anything like that. And, when he told me that, it took me a little bit to get my brain around it because, I couldn't figure out how they were going to pay out the money. But, and I did speak with the number one income earner in the company, and he's got over 100 people that he's matching on, that are making $1,000 or more a month. And, you do the math on that. So it's probably the most lucrative part of this comp plan. And I've never seen anything like it in the industry, to be honest with you.
So this was my big thing when I got back. I was just like, every network marketer has to get involved in this. Like, Dave, I see guys, even just on Facebook alone, they're hot and heavy. You also see this, by the way, with couples, right? You see couples all snugly, and then like 4 months later, they're both with someone else. The network marketing guys and gals, they're so hot on this, and then all of a sudden they're quiet for 3 months. MLM, bouncers, it's so common to be a bouncer in this industry. How about not having to bounce anymore? How about knowing that you're safe? How about knowing that your company is a 100% Better Business Bureau accredited, high rankings in the DSA, all the accolades that you want in a company in terms of credibility. So you don't have to worry about, is the founder going to get jammed up? Is the product tested? Is the FTC, FDA, like all that stuff you don't worry about. So you have safety. Throw in now a product with a 6 times retention rate over the industry. Mega match. Why would a network marketer do it? Now listen, some network marketers like services. That's cool. Maybe some people don't like products. But if you're doing a product MLM, how could you do another? I don't know. Explain how you could do another product other than this?
No, I mean, I've been in this industry 39 years, and this is the finest product, and this is the finest company I've ever been affiliated with. And you talk about services versus products. When you have a product that people get emotionally attached to, you got the key to the vault, and that's what we have here.
Good stuff, Raz. So hopefully some of my guys, my friends, girlfriends, not girlfriends. Big difference, Raz. I see the look on your face. Hopefully some of those, because listen, it's not something, come out of retirement. Give this a shot. If you have a little oomph left in you, if you have a little bit of, but you were scorned because of your last company, or you're just frustrated with the way things worked out, come back, give this a try. I mean, look at the times today, Raz. Economic devastation. Who knows what's going to happen with this economy, right? Look what's happening in the world today with health and wellness. People need health and wellness guidance more than ever. You said it, we're so reliant on just taking a pill to cover up the symptom and not address the real problem. We have the capability of showing people the way with their health, and also a way to help them financially with their plan B. Not saying we don't make any medical claims. We don't make any financial claims. But man, how about you try by the way, we didn't even mention this, the 120-day money back guarantee. I've never seen that in the industry neither. 120 days for someone to try a product for 4 months. And if they don't like it, if they've tried it all, they can send it back. So throw that in the mix. Get involved with a product that moves the needle, that has a fully 4-month guarantee, and maybe you change a few people's lives like you have already, I've seen at least a dozen people put testimonials on your Facebook page thanking you for introducing him, and then get paid to do that. It's a pretty fun thing, man.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're not involved in a company right now, I mean, the country's in rough shape. I mean, it's people are looking for income. I mean, this is devastation. 4 million businesses are close their doors and aren't going to reopen. Think about the owners. Think about the employees. There's a wide opportunity out there. And anytime there's a solution to a crisis, if you can provide a solution to a crisis, find a need and fill it, if you will, you definitely have an opportunity. And so with what's going on out there, people are hurting. They need hope. They need help. They need a lifeline, and we can throw it to them. And we can teach people how to capitalize on this economy instead of being a victim to it, Bob.
That's perfect. Good stuff. Raz, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You're probably mad at me because you could have been recruiting and selling.
Yeah, I got people to sign up, bro. I got money to make you.
I know. I'm sure I'm gonna pay for this somehow with making you spend 10 minutes with me. I'm sure you're gonna make me pay the price. But I appreciate it, brother.
All right. Thank you for having me.
You're the best.